Hey guys, we're going to do lesson 2 of our assignment here and talks about Addie surveys third graders to find out their favorite fruits. The results are in the table below. So we have where it lists our fruits going down the side here. Then talks about the number of students. Our directions tell us to draw units of 2 to complete the tape diagram to show the total votes for each fruit. The first one has been done for you. We're coming back to those tape diagrams. So we're going to say how many groups of 2 do we have. For banana, there's 8 total. So they counted by 2s because it told us to do units of 2. So 2, 4, 6, 8. Now apple, I have 16. So I'm going to draw out my 2s first until I get to 16. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. Then I can come back and box it out for my tape diagram and separate them out. If I did this correctly, I should have 8 groups of 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Strawberry had 12, so again I'm going to count by 2s. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Box them out. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 groups of 2. And for peach I had 4. So 2, 4. And I have 2 groups of 2 to get 4. Question 2 asks us to explain how you can create vertical tape diagrams to show this data. One of those big words that we got to figure out is vertical. I always have a hard time remembering vertical versus horizontal. Horizontal sounds like a horizon, so I know it wants to go from side to side. But that's not what I want for this one. I want vertical. So I want to know how can I look at it going up and down, like a portrait or a picture. So the idea of it is that if we take that information we just drew out with our tape diagrams from before, if I rotate it like this, I just made a vertical tape diagram. That's what they're wanting for question 2. So we want to explain how we can create a vertical tape diagram to show this data. So it's really simple, actually. All you have to do is tell me that I can create a vertical tape diagram by turning these tape diagrams It's really important too, I didn't talk about this when we did our first set of tape diagrams, but it's important that you make your boxes as close to the same size as possible, otherwise that'll make for your vertical tape diagrams to be a little off. Okay? I wanted to add something more to my answer down here too. So I can create a vertical tape diagram by turning these tape diagrams that we completed already, and I wanted to say it shows the same data. Remember, data is the information that we've already collected from our survey or from our graphs or our tables. So it shows the same data, but in a different way. So if you think about it here, I already know that apple is the favorite fruit of the third graders when I look at my graph this way, my vertical tape diagrams. If I turn this one was our horizontal tape diagrams, and if we turn it, then we see our vertical tape diagrams. Apples is still the favorite fruit. Peaches are still the least favorite. The data doesn't change just because we changed the way that we're looking at our tape diagrams. All right, on to the back side. Question 3 says complete the vertical tape diagrams below using data from problem 1. So I have my problem 1 sitting here beside me, and if I look here it said banana. I already have those lines drawn out for my horizontal tape diagram. So if I look here, I need to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 boxes of 2 for my apple. So I'm going to come here and I'm going to make sure that my boxes are the same size. I needed to count up to 8 boxes of 2, 8 groups of 2, and have a total of 16 apples altogether. So I'm going to count by 2s. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. I get really high up there. If I did this correctly, I'll have 8 boxes, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's okay if you have to go up into those words a little bit. For strawberry, we liked a total of 12 strawberries. So I'm going to count by 2s to get to my 12. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. And again, box them all out. I should have 6 of those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 groups of 2. And for peach, we had 4 people who liked peach, so 2, 4, or 2 groups of 2, 1, 2. Part B, looking here now, they changed the number on their tape diagram, didn't they? They have groups of 4, so they have 2 groups of 4. Sounds like our commutative property, those turnaround facts, doesn't it? I had 4 groups of 2 here, but now I have 2 groups of 4. So let's see here. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Every number has to be, oops, sorry, that's not the right one. I should say every box has to be a 4 now. So I have to figure out how many times 4 goes into 16 for my apples. So let's count by 4. 4, 8, 12, 16. I didn't do a very good job explaining why we switched to 4s. I made that a little confusing. So let me fix that here. We know because they have a 4 starting their tape diagram that they're doing groups of 4. So when I look back on my first page of how many people like banana, 8 people liked banana. So they counted by 4. They went 4, 8. That made 2 groups of 8. Or I'm sorry, 2 groups of 4 to equal 8. Now to continue keeping my groups of 4, because I have to be the same when I do my tape diagram, for apple, 16 friends liked apple, so I counted by 4. 4, 8, 12, 16. Then that's how I got 4 groups of 4. For strawberry, 12 people liked it, so we still have to count by 4s. 4, 8, 12. If you're not remembering how to count by 4s, make sure you do the individual counting pieces as well. So you can go 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You can count by 1s if you need to. And last but not least was peach, and the 4 people liked peach. So they just get one little box by themselves for our vertical tape diagram. So let's move down to part C and let's start answering some questions about our tape diagrams that we just made. C says, what is a good title for the vertical tape diagrams? Well, I started to wrap it. A good title for the tape diagram is, I should have said tape diagrams are, because we're talking about both of these. Remember, to be a title, it has to be connected to the information that we got for our table. So our table said favorite fruits of 3rd graders. Well, would a good title for the tape diagram be that these are favorite fruits of 3rd graders? Could we keep the same title? I think so. So favorite, let's put in quotation marks so we know that that's what our title is going to be. Favorite fruits of 3rd graders. Sorry for my sloppy handwriting today. D says, compare the number of units used in the vertical tape diagrams in problems 3A and 3B. Why does the number of units change? Well, if we think about with banana, we had 4 groups of 2 for A, right? But when we had chart B, we had 2 groups of 4. The number changes because we did commutative property. So why does the number of units change? The number of units change because the size of each unit changed. You know, the size of each unit changed because you had 2 groups of 4, but originally you had 4 groups of 2. So what you put inside each group and how many groups you needed, that's changed. So you had to alter your diagram, your vertical tape diagram for it. E wants us to write a multiplication number sentence to show the total number of votes for strawberries in the vertical tape diagram on problem A. So for strawberry, how many groups of 2 did we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 6 groups of 2, so 6 times 2 equals 12, and we need to label it strawberries. Write a multiplication number sentence to show the total number of votes for strawberries in the vertical tape diagram in problem B. So how many groups do I have? 1, 2, 3. This one I have 3 groups of 4, or 3 times 4, which still equals 12, because I didn't change the data in my table. I just changed how I represented it on my vertical tape diagram. So I still have 12 strawberries. What changes in your multiplication number sentence in E and F? Why? So what changes in them? The 2 different factors changed, don't they? Our factors changed in E, it was 6 and 2, and then they changed for F into 3 and 4, but they changed because the number and sizes of our groups changed. So the factors changed because we changed the unit size, or what I've been calling it, or the number in each group. When you change the number in each group, it's also going to change the quantity of groups too. So how many groups you have. Well, there you have it, guys. That's lesson 2 from modular 6 of our EngageNY homework. I'll see you tomorrow.